Yes, sir.
Well, good evening and welcome into Northwest High School. I'm Dewey Daly alongside John Bruce. Tonight we've got an SOC2 matchup on hand for you here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth. The Mohawks coming into tonight 8-2, 4-2 in the SOC, led by Rick Scarberry. Their previous game was a 61-55 win over an Eastern team. That was on Tuesday, who John is actually, I know they had the loss to Waverly, and that's Waverly's only win on the season, but other than that, they've had some good wins. They beat this Valley team. They had a win over Wheelersburg as well. So, that's definitely a pretty solid win for the team. As for Valley, I guess you'd say half a game above Northwest in the standings overall, not exactly in the league, at 9-2, 6-2 in the SOC, led by Craig Tackett. Their previous game was a 61-35 win over Portsmouth West, and once again, that has them sitting at 9-2. In that game, John, you had a guy who's pretty well known in the community of Valley reach the 1,000-point mark. That was George Arnett. It's a great accomplishment. I know we were talking kind of pre-game, even before we started driving down here on, how decorated this, not exactly this only senior class, but, kind of the class that graduated last year, Valley, to maybe the juniors this year have just had a lot of success over the past few years, especially at the district level through, maybe not football, but they've had some good football teams, soccer, boys basketball, baseball. They reached the Final Four. I think that was the 2020-2021 season. Just a lot of success for this Valley team as a whole athletic department overall.
Yeah, Valley does this every once in a while, but maybe not at this high of a level where they'll just have like, they were always good, but they have one class that just is head and shoulders above the others, and that's kind of what this senior class has been. And then you mix in a junior in Jace Copley, and you've got guys that have won a lot of games and a lot of sports. You mentioned football. They've made the playoffs the last 3 years in football, and the COVID season they won 2 playoff games that year. So, they've had some success. They made it to the Final Four 2 years ago in baseball with a lot of these guys playing. And then also in basketball, they made it to the regionals last year, district finals as sophomores. This is a group that's done a lot of winning over the past 2 years.
Yeah, we should have a good game tonight. The last time these two teams came together, that was on, I think it was the third game of the year, or the third league game of the year for both of these teams. It was really early in the season, but nonetheless, it was a 58-46 win for Valley. That was at Valley, obviously. So they come together for the second time. And one other thing, unofficially, well, actually I'll go ahead and say, officially, Valley has taken down the Mohawks 9 meetings in a row. So obviously if they pick up a win here, that would be 10. That would be 5 straight years. But, unofficially, the last recorded win I could find for Northwest over Valley was all the way back on January 29th, 2010.
Yeah.
That was a 61-52 win. That was at Valley. Once again, that's unofficial, but that was the latest or the last recorded win I was able to find for them. We'll take a quick break here for the national anthem. So once again, officially been at least 5 years since Northwest has been able to beat Valley. Unofficially, it's been about 12 years, John. So we'll go benefit of the doubt here and say it's only been 9 meetings. But either way, Northwest, if they're able to pick up a win here, it'd be the first time in a while they've taken down the Valley Indians. One other thing that's kind of been circulating through the media as of late was how the SOC is going to split. Well, not exactly split, but just kind of rearrange the divisions a little bit from 2 to 3, and they're going to add South Gallia as well. They haven't exactly named them yet, so we don't know how it's going to be listed as, SOC 1, 2, or 3. But nonetheless, the way we believe they'll be divided up is one division will consist of Waverly, Wheelersburg, Portsmouth West, Minford, South Webster, and Lucasville Valley. Another one will consist of Oak Hill, Eastern, Western, South Gallia, Sims Valley, and Northwest will be in that one as well. And then the third one will consist of Portsmouth Clay, New Boston, Notre Dame, Greene, Ironton, St. Joe, and East. So
when you mentioned that it's been a long time since Northwest beat Valley, this might be the last time they play as SOC rivals for quite some time, unless another realignment happens. And it's kind of exciting for these kids at Northwest. They're getting they'll get a chance to play some different teams. Maybe the travel will be a little bit hectic with that trip to South Gallia. Is going to be a nice trip. But
John, I know you may have a little bit more insight than I do. I'm going to ask you this. You don't have to answer it if you don't know the question, but any reason for South Gallia to make that move to the SOC?
I think where they're currently at, size-wise, not really size-wise, because size-wise they fit in with the TVC Hawking, but I think it's actually less travel for them to come here than it would be there, as the TVC Hawking is very spread out. Recently, Miller left the TVC Hawking, and I think they're looking to rearrange some certain things as well. One thing to point out for Northwest, we don't have a report on why, but Connor Lentz is out tonight for the Mohawks. One of their big-time players, a 6'2" junior, a really good shooter. So we'll see how that affects them. One thing I will say, if you have not seen Valley play before, get ready. It's going to be fast.
Very quickly, the starters will start with the Valley Indians. Number 1, George Arnett. Number 4, Colton Buckle. Number 10, Carter Nickel. Number 13, Jace Copley. And number 25, Levi Stewart. That's 4 seniors and a junior for Valley. As for Northwest, number 4, Caleb Lewis. Number 10, Jay Jenkins. Number 12, Tanner Boland. Number 23, Logan Wolfenmaker. And at number 24, Alex Byer. As expected, Valley will come away with the tip. You kind of expect that, John, when you have a 6'8" senior going for the tip. You mentioned, a guy that didn't play a whole lot last year and, finally getting his due here tonight. Well, this season, I should say.
Levi Stewart is a problem to deal with if you are an opponent, and has really good size, good length, can shoot it a little bit. A nice addition to the lineup for the Indians this year.
So Northwest will look to get on the board first, coming away with the ball off the tip, and that shot is blocked away by number 13, Jace Copley. Valley will take over.
Yeah, nice job by Copley of getting there on the backside help.
Now Valley sitting, I believe, second in the SOC below Minford, who's had a great start to this season. Wide open underneath is Levi Stewart, and Valley out to an early 2-0 lead. And we have a whistle here.
Yeah, really good look there from Carter Nickel at the top of the key. I think they may adjust the clock. Maybe not. It's the only problem with being a little higher is you don't really tell. This is a good officiating crew tonight, so hopefully don't have any issues with that. But
Wolfenmaker top of the key over to Caleb Lewis. A 3-ball, can't get it to go. Offensive rebound, Jay Jenkins keeps it alive for Northwest. Short range jumper on the way from Lewis, and he ties it up at 2.
Yeah, good job by Jay Jenkins keeping that thing alive and then finding him on the inside. Good cut by Caleb Lewis also to stay involved after missing the shot.
have a foul on the floor here. It's on number 10, Jay Jenkins. No, actually, I think it's going to be an offensive foul on Valley.
Yeah, it's going to be on Levi Stewart. I think it was on the screen, which is big because Valley doesn't play a lot of guys. So if they got to go to the bench, they've got a couple guys that really good athletes, like we mentioned, but don't get a whole lot of PT.
So Northwest looking to take an early first quarter lead. Top of the key, Wolfenbarker pass to the right wing, Tanner Bolin.
Yeah, if you're not disciplined with guarding this offense, you're going to get back screened to death. They're going to get open looks. But if you communicate, it's going to make it a little bit harder for Northwest. But it appears so far that they run their stuff really well.
Yeah, good ball movement from Northwest, but really good defense as Wolfenbarker lets go a three. Can't get it to go. Rebound goes to Nickel.
Yeah, I was just talking about Wolfenbarker in warm-ups, how good he looked, and just a little long on that one.
Arnett on the left side, moving mid-range jumper off the back iron, no good. Wolfenbarker the rebound for Northwest, brings it across half court as well. Bolin thought about the three ball, passes it over all the way into the corner. Lewis a three ball off the rim and no good. Nickel another rebound for Valley.
Yeah, Valley likes to get out and go. That's probably could have been a foul.
A deep three ball from Copley is no good. Caleb Lewis the rebound for Northwest, going the other way. Short range jumper from Jenkins is on the way, connects.
Jay Jenkins, one of the better soccer players in the area, with a nice move to get to the middle of the paint there and hit the short jumper.
Four to 2 lead. A little under a minute, short range, or actually a mid-range jumper on the way from Nickel. He's fouled on the shot. I believe it was on Tanner Bolin. So that'll be 2 free throws coming up for Carter Nickel.
Yeah, similar to what it appeared Copley got hit. We're having a 30-second timeout here for the Indians. I'm sure they're going to talk about stopping the ball in transition as that's how Jenkins scored on that last one. With the Valley team, they can really score it, but the defensive side of the ball is kind of where, that's what Eastern, when they beat them, scored 96 points. It was double overtime.
Oh, okay. I was getting ready to say 96 points in regulation. That would have been insane. We've seen some high-scoring games so far this season, John. But
yeah, so they're not the best defense team, and that might be because they play 5 guys for the most part. And if they can, find that side of the ball and be a little more efficient defensively, that's something where they can really it can make a difference for them in their season. And like if you look at the score of Forces West the other day, they give up 35 points.
Right.
Yeah. So that's
61-35.
Yeah, showing what they can do on the defensive end if they sit down and really guard.
So 4-2 lead for Northwest. Nickel looking to cut it down, and for the time being, he will cut it to 1. One more free throw on the way for the 6-foot senior. And he knocks it down.
Nickel with 2 and also has the assist on the made basket.
Handful of rebounds, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
Long range 3 from Lewis is good. 7-4 Northwest.
Yeah, that's Lewis's 3rd 3 attempt already, so they're definitely looking for him.
Arnett not wasting any time the other way. Puts it through, tied back up at 7.
Yeah, to play against this Valley team, you have to get back in transition, stop the ball, and find the shooters.
Northwest looking to answer back. Lewis top of the key, pass over to Alex Byer now into the corner, back to Tanner Bolin. He'll bring it back out to Wolfenbarker. Kind of a good defense against this set offense of Northwest is another 3 ball from Lewis is good. 2 for 5, I believe now, or 2 for 4, excuse me, from beyond the arc for Caleb Lewis.
Yeah, and he's getting good looks, getting his feet set, and that's what I mean when you're guarding this defense, you have to be offense, you got to be very disciplined or else they're going to get open looks, and that's happened 2 times already.
It's been a patient approach so far for Northwest. You just kind of pass it around until you get the shots you want. They've been able to knock it down. Copley thought about the 3-ball. He'll pass it over to Nickel on the right wing.
Yeah, good job on defense by Jay Jenkins.
Mid-range jumper from Stewart is no good. Rebound goes to Jenkins, and I believe that's Copley who's a bit shaken up.
Yeah.
After the play.
Yeah, I know he got some contact in the inside before the shot, but I didn't see anything. Hopefully no one landed on him on the rebound attempt. Because if they lose Copley, that's huge for a variety of reasons. But he's an outstanding scorer and, does a little bit of everything for the Indians.
So for now, it appears Copley will be at least okay enough to stay in the game. Although
I feel like he has to come out since the coach came out on the court. Either way, Parker Lute has entered the game for the Indians for Carter Nickel. And I think that's what the officials are talking about now, yeah. So Nickel will stay in.
Yeah.
Because Copley's got to leave at least until the ball goes back in play.
Right. Kind of like how in football, your helmet comes off.
Yeah.
You got to come out at least for a play. So 3:25 to go here in the first quarter. 10-7 lead for the Mohawks. They'll look to extend it here in the corner. Lewis, a 3-ball, got it.
Yeah, they've been looking. Lewis has been getting it a lot at the top of the key. Instead, that time he goes to the corner and buries the shot.
Mid-range jumper on the way from Lute is no good. That's his first shot of the game. Northwest now the other way.
Back to Lewis.
Wolfenbarker, a 3-ball off the iron, no good. Rebound goes to Northwest, inside, off the backboard and in for Alex Byer. 15-7 lead for the Mohawks, and I believe another timeout for Valley. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, the Mohawks are just playing with way more effort and energy. I mean, it helps when you get threes on 3 straight possessions, but that can lift you, and that's where you really got to step up the defensive side if you're Valley, because this Mohawks team, even without Lentz, they're on a roll. I mean, they're 8-2. They lost a couple games early, and they've been playing really well lately. So it's a team that is skilled. They've won a lot at the lower levels, and they believe in what they're doing. So, and you mentioned where they're either a half game or full game back, just based on games played, and that just comes down to some of the flooding issues that happened right around Christmas. So Northwest will actually have to be playing a lot of games to make up for those games that they sat. So I know they still have to play Wheelersburg twice.
Have to play South Webster again, too.
Yeah.
We originally planned on coming down here for that game.
That was a frost one.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the night after the Gallia and Courthouse game. Yeah. So Valley now looking to answer back. Down low, Buckle fadeaway jumper is good. Lead now cut to 6.
Nice job by Colt Buckle there in the post to not rush and to take his time, knock down that fadeaway jumper.
Into the corner, Wolfenbarker picks up his dribble, looking for somebody to dish it off to. Nice pass to Bolin inside, pass out. Lewis wide open again. This time not able to connect. Buckle the rebound for Valley.
I feel like this place would have exploded if he hit that.
Copley back in the game for Valley. Loses a handle, unable to regain possession for the Indians. Copley drives inside, poked away by number 10, Jay Jenkins. He'll come away with the steal on the fast break now. Mid-range jumper in transition off the rim and no good. Stewart the rebound.
A nice job by Jenkins to use quick hands.
Lute underneath, off the backboard and in for 2.
Yeah, Tanner Bolin might have got lucky there to not get a cheapie there on the layup. Good job by Lute to go up strong and finish.
Into the corner, Lewis. Valley Gonna want to keep an eye on him probably for the rest of the game, John, as this one's poked away by Copley. Steal for the Indians in transition. Loop pass to Buckle off the backboard and in. Lead down to 2.
Yeah, good defense there by Valley, making a little bit of run here. 6-0 run since that timeout.
15-3 in favor of Northwest, now reaching under a minute left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, for Northwest, they really still have to value the ball. Getting some pretty good looks when you're going through your offense. So you don't want to go with the quick shots.
Clock now down to 40 seconds, top of the key. Lewis now over to Jay Jenkins around the volleyball line. Pass back to Lewis.
This could be a situation where they hold for the last shot, or maybe if they just get a really good look.
Just kind of by the body language of the Mohawks, it seems like that's kind of the idea here.
Although I think with Lewis, he probably has the green light right there if he gets a decent look.
We're going to have a foul around the volleyball line on George Arnett. That'll be the team's second.
Yeah, just got the feet tangled up right there, but gives Valley a chance to reset their defense. Coming in for the Mohawks is Corey Butler, a 6'1 senior, coming in for Alex Bayer, or Bayer.
And the inbound pass gets away from Tanner Bolin. That'll be a turnover for the Mohawks, and that'll give Valley a chance here to maybe tie it up or take a lead headed into the second quarter.
Yeah, not the worst foul now for George Arnett on that play.
It kind of worked out.
Yeah.
So Buckle will inbound. He'll get it into Copley. 10 to shoot here for the Indians. Copley to the left side. Fadeaway 3-ball on the way. Got it.
Big shot by Copley.
2 seconds to shoot. Jenkins loses the handle. I believe that's good if it goes, and it is.
Yeah. Wow. What a gigantic momentum swing right there.
Colt Buckle off the steal from half court. John, that's back-to-back games we've seen with a half-court shot. We'll take a quick break. 19-15, Valley leading after 1. We'll be back in a moment.
At OhioHealth, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing OhioHealth provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
Here at Glockner's, we know how valuable your time is, and that's why our priority is to provide you a quick and easy service. We will get you in and out and on your way immediately. So schedule your next service appointment at Glockner.com.
19-15, Valley leading a 6-point swing, John, and all of about the last 3 or 4 seconds for Valley has them out to a 4-point lead headed in to the second quarter. A big swing of momentum for the Indians. That's going to be something they're going to want to carry not only into the second quarter but into the second half as well.
Yeah, it's a kind of unfortunate for the Mohawks there as they, look like they're holding for the last shot, get fouled, then turn it over. Chase Copley hits a really tough shot. I think Colt Buckle gets a steal, and, you get the shot off, put it at the rim, give it a chance, and he did, banks in.
Almost a fadeaway half-court shot, it looked like. 3-ball in the corner from Lute is no good. Offensive rebound, Buckle. Putback is no good, and eventually Wolfenbarker able to come away with the rebound for Northwest. Lewis in the corner, Wolfenbarker top of the key, pump fake, pass now to Jay Jenkins, who cuts it loose and knocks it down.
It's a big shot from Jenkins. Wolfenbarker does a good job of finding him real quick in transition.
Valley not wasting any time the other way. Arnett, the putback no good off of the Stewart miss. And it'll be out of bounds on George Arnett. It'll go in possession of Northwest. So what was a quickly lost lead is almost back in the hands of Northwest here in the early goings of the second quarter. Pass down low to Wolfenbarker. Right-handed floater is on the way and no good. Arnett the rebound pushed ahead to Colt Buckle. Not sure if that was a pass or a shot from Buckle, but nonetheless it'll be out of bounds on Valley. Looked like he may have been trying to pass it over to Stewart and just may have bailed out and shot it at the backboard at the last second. But
yeah, it looked like he just got kind of stuck up in the air. And but when you do, like I said on the half court, you put it up towards the rim and give it a chance. Now when Northwest, if they run their flex stuff really well, like they did there, they're going to get a good look inside. That's, yeah.
Most likely going to be a travel on Tanner Bolin. That'll be a turnover for the Mohawks.
Yeah, I think Bolin expected to get some
contact, and it just wasn't there.
Yeah, wasn't there, and took a couple extra steps.
So 19-18, Valley out in front. 6:40 to go here in the first half.
Well, Jay Jenkins doing a good job on Jace Copley. Just flat out denying him the ball once he gives it up. So those are two really good athletes.
Buckle pass to Arnett on the right side. Down low, Stewart with the right hand. Can't get it to fall. Bolin the rebound for Northwest. 3-on-2 fast break here for the Mohawks inside.
Nice
Jenkins pump fake up for the layup. Just can't get it to fall down. Lute the rebound. John, that hit about every part of the rim, just never fell. Copley, a three-ball, count it.
Yeah, and that's why you want to stop. That's why you don't want him to get the ball, is because he can get hot at any time. And he's hit his last 2 threes to give him 6 so far on the evening.
Another 3-ball from Lewis is on the way, not able to connect. Buckle the rebound for Valley, pushes it ahead to Arnett, has 2 people on him, puts up a shot, can't get it to fall. Buckle the rebound, the putback on the way, no good. Stewart, another rebound, putback is no good. Bolin the rebound for Northwest. Mohawks looking to answer back. Wolfenbarker, 1 too many steps there. That'll be a travel as Bolin knocks down the 3-ball after the whistle. That'll turn things over to Valley.
Yeah, the Mohawks need to play within themselves, so keep themselves, going at their pace that they want to play offense on, not getting too big of a rush, because that's when the turnovers happen.
Into the corner, Lute back to Arnett. Around the volleyball line now to Buckle. Buckle pick and roll with Stewart. Mid-range jumper on the way, knocks it down.
Yeah, Buckle with 9 now. 4 for 7 from the field, including 3 for 3 in that first quarter. With that heave, hey, it counts as long as it goes, right?
Byer drives inside. I believe Stewart may have caught a piece of it. Nonetheless, a miss. That was Corey Butler on the drive for Northwest. And Wolfenbarker able to intercept the pass. Ball is loose. And Jenkins will just let it roll out of bounds. So after all of that, it'll go in possession of the Mohawks.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a crazy span right there. For the Mohawks, they just got to make sure they're getting good looks.
Entry pass to Butler on the right wing around the baseline to Wolfenbarker. And it'll be out of bounds on Wolfenbarker. It'll turn things back over to Valley. A lot of turnovers here in the last few minutes for Northwest.
Yeah, good job by George Arnett coming in there. He's a little behind on the play, but is able to get a hand on it, knock it off Wolfenbarker out of bounds.
So Buckle will bring it across half court. Entry pass to Arnett around the left wing. Pick and roll with Levi Stewart, able to get it down low on the right block. Going to work up with the right hand and in for 2.
Stewart goes through the contact and scores it. Nice job there by Stewart. If he scores there, that's going to make him going rolling over his left shoulder a little more available the next trip down.
3-ball on the way. I believe that was Bolin who cut that one loose. And we're going to have an off-the-ball foul on Northwest. It was on
Lewis.
Caleb Lewis, as Alex Byer checks back into the game for Corey Butler.
Yeah, got a lot of hands on the hips so far. And I think Valley probably sees that. They don't want to slow it down because they know they've got Northwest kind of where they want them right now.
Pass to Copley, lets it go, fouled on the shot, not able to knock it down, but he's going to have 3 shots coming up.
Yeah, just got his hand in his body. It's like if you don't get a hand up on him, there's no reason to get a hand in his body because you might get away with it, but more times than not, if the player goes down, then it's going to be
something we've seen become a lot more popular is the foul when you enter the landing zone of the player shooting, as Copley not able to knock down the first of 3.
Yeah, that's why, coaches teach you, stay straight up. Stay within yourself. Don't jump to try to block the shot. Just keep a hand up. Try to throw their vision off a little bit. But as soon as you get in the body, if you're lucky, they just call it on the box out, and then they just get the ball out of bounds. But
Logan Shepard will check into the game. Came in for Logan Wolfenbacher as Copley is 2 of 3 on the trip. A 10-point lead now for Valley.
The Mohawks need a score here. That's going to be off White.
Yeah, it looks like
should have been a kick.
Yeah, it looks like Jenkins may have. You think it made contact with a Valley defender there?
I think
beforehand.
It just kind of got into his body off of it. I don't know if it's a kick though, because I don't think he did the kicking motion.
Right.
Just kind of hit his foot. Yeah, there's going to be a hold on Jenkins.
Yeah, you could definitely see the jersey tug there. It's something you look for on the gridiron whenever offensive linemen are going at it, but we see it here on the hardwood. That foul on Jay Jenkins, that was the team's 4th, his 2nd.
Yeah, and that's big, especially if they're going to keep him on Copley, because I'm sure they'll just go right after him now if you're Valley. Try to get one of their better ball handlers and defenders out.
Pass down low to Copley. Going to work, fadeaway jumper on the way, yes.
Yeah. Give Copley 10. It's going to be a full timeout.
It'll be a full timeout, so we'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School basketball right here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
Michelle and her dad. Decades of dares. 1 month of learning to jump. First day doing it solo. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at OhioHealth.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student-athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week, presented by Willie & Son Trucking, each week at SOSAOhio.com.
30-18, Valley leading a little over halfway now into the second quarter. John, you said it was a 15-7 lead for Northwest. Since then, a 23-3 run from Valley to flip the script on the Mohawks.
Yeah, and, if you do plus-minus, Parker Lute is plus a lot. I know when he came in, Adams hit a 3, or Lewis hit a 3, and then since then, Lewis has only taken 1 shot. And that's been a giant difference in the game so far. So
it was definitely a hot start for Caleb Lewis, and like you said, just hasn't really been able to get open since entry pass to the right wing to Lewis, now top of the key, Shepard. Now over to Jay Jenkins.
If they looked at him, Lewis had got himself open.
Ball poked away by Bolin. Northwest able to stay in control, top of the key to Lewis, now over to Shepard. Back to Jenkins, who loses it off of the pass, not able to hang on. Wide open underneath is Lute, who lays it off the glass, not able to get it to go, but it may as well have just been a pass to Levi Stewart, who puts it back up and in for 2.
Yeah, Stewart now. Yeah, Stewart now with 6 points and 4 boards on the night. Northwest has got to find some sort of combination to get a little momentum back going into the half. They're down 14 now. They'll get the ball to start the second half, so try to get it down under 10.
Wolfenbarker checked back into the game for Logan Shepard. Bolin on the right side, top of the key. Jenkins a 3-ball, yes.
Yeah, that's a big shot from Jenkins.
Going the other way, Arnett a 3-ball of his own. Not able to connect, but it'll be off the hands of Alex Byer, and it'll stay here with Valley.
That's unfortunate for Northwest right there, as that was almost a big break.
Probably just wasn't expecting it to not get anything. He was maybe looking upstairs for it off the rim, and it just never really got there from Arnett. Copley a deep 3-ball off the front iron and no good. Byer able to get the rebound for Northwest. Wolfenbarker will bring it across half court. Jenkins not able to come up with the pass, but it's right into the hands of Alex Byer, who lays it off the glass and in for 2. Going the other way, Parker Luda 3, not able to connect. And Wolfenbarker had the rebound. I'm surprised there wasn't maybe a foul pushing Wolfenbarker out of bounds, but it'll stay here with Valley for the time being.
Yeah, it looked like there was some contact there, but like you said, it'll stay with Valley.
Pass into Buckle. He'll bring it back around the volleyball line. Pass to Arnett on the right wing. Top of the key, Lute. Looking down low for Copley. Not able to hang on to the pass, but able to save it into Arnett. Reverse layup on the way is no good. Stewart the rebound and in on the putback for 2.
Yeah, sometimes when you got a guy that big, you just put the ball up towards the rim and hope he can go up and get it. Great save by Copley to keep that possession alive.
Arnett comes up with the steal, and we're going to have a foul on most likely Wolfenbarker. John, is a clear path foul a thing in high school? Because
no.
I feel like that may have fit the description there a little bit.
I mean, you might be able to get an intentional if it's too much, but I think when it's sort of 50-50, even though it was more like 70-30 on that, it's going to be hard to get the intentional call.
Logan Shepard back into the game for the Mohawks. He comes in for Jay Jenkins. Screen from Buckle. Copley. Pass to Arnett, who takes it to the middle of the floor, picks up his dribble, finds its way back to Copley around the logo at half court. Copley, shot from the free throw line, off the back iron and no good. Buckle the offensive rebound for Valley.
Copley might have been too open on that jumper. I don't think he knew his crossover was going to work that well.
Buckle drives inside, pass out to Copley in the left corner. Drives inside, up with the right hand, and foul. That'll send him to the line, shooting 2 with 12.2 seconds left here in the second quarter.
2 for 3 on his first trip. Be looking to extend his game high. Well, looking to become the game leader in scoring, as Lewis has 11. Copley with 10 currently.
First shot from Copley is good. That pushes the Indians' lead up to 12.
Yeah, if you're Northwest, you got to secure a rebound here no matter what. You just want to get a good look. It'd be great if you can get a 3 here, but just get a basket. Do not turn it over.
Yeah, we've seen that happen before in the half-court heave from Buckle. 5 to shoot here for Northwest. Jenkins drives inside, loses it, but it'll be out of bounds on Valley, so Northwest will have one last chance here. There's enough time for 2 passes, maybe in a shot, but it would have to be, the second pass would have to be to somebody wide open.
And they are.
Hey, there's 2 passes in a shot or a pass and a dribble in a shot, one of the 2.
They are a lot of miscommunication on that play. They had no idea what they were trying to run.
Bolin was looking for Jenkins down here in the right corner. It was poked out of bounds by, I believe, Buckle, so it'll stay here with Northwest. Clock now down to 1.2. Inbound to Jenkins. 3-ball on the way, top of the backboard, and no good. That'll send us to the break, 36-23. Valley out in front. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball right here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
Near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Parmar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Parmar has it. Download the Parmar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Parmar Rewards Card, too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
36-23, the lead after the first half. A 13-point lead for Valley. We're about 3 minutes and 50 seconds away from the start of the second half. John, why don't you give us some stats from the first half?
I'll start off with Northwest. Northwest started out very hot in that first quarter, 15-7 lead. After the quarter, it was 19-15. The crazy last 12 seconds, happened, and they seemed like they responded well to start the second quarter with Jay Jenkins hitting the three, but then that kind of went away. And a lot of that, I think, goes to Valley defensively. We talked about how that's where they need to be better at is defensively, and it seemed like, Coach Tackett seemed like he challenged them in that timeout. They really answered well, only giving up 8 points since that timeout about halfway through the first quarter. Leading the way for the Mohawks is Caleb Lewis, 3 of 7 from 3, 1 of 1 from 2. He's got 11 points. Jay Jenkins next up. He's got 8 points, 2 of 3 from 3. Had a couple of assists. Done a pretty good job on Chase Copley. Got a second foul midway through the second quarter and it came off of him. Then the only other scorer is Alex Bear with 4. He's 2 for 2 from the field. The Mohawks are 5 for 13 from 3, 9 of 24 from the field overall. They have not shot a free throw yet. They have 8 turnovers. Now, that's where they're also being out-rebounded 15-11. Valley is 13 of 32 from the field. So not only are they getting to the free throw line where they are 6 for 7, but they're also just getting more shot attempts. Levi Stewart has 6 rebounds, 3 offensive himself. Colt Buckle has 4 rebounds, 3 of those are offensive. So they're just really crashing the offensive glass and getting extra looks. Leading the Indians is Jace Copley with 12 points. He's 3 of 6 in the field, 2 of 4 from 3, and he's also 4 of 5 from the line. Next up is Colt Buckle with 9 points, 4 of 7 from the field. Like I mentioned, he's got 4 boards. Levi Stewart with his 6 rebounds and 8 points. I don't think he officially has a block, but he altered a couple shots towards the basket using his 6'8" length really well. Next is George Arnett, only one of six in the field, but he's been in a lot of passing lanes. He's disrupted a lot of stuff defensively.
Yeah, he probably would have had 2 more on the steal down here on the near sideline, but we kind of had almost an immediate foul off the turnover for them. So Arnett he hasn't scored, but he's made a lot of things happen for them. Then Parker Lute played really well off the bench, 2 points for them, and Carter Nickel, 2 points. He was 2 for 2 from the line in that first quarter. About 37 seconds before we start the half, John. In between the JV and varsity games, we had some track guys, or 2 track guys and 1 track girl going in from the 2022 class. You were talking about how prominent Northwest has been. I think you said, maybe, I don't know if you mentioned cross country, but for sure track.
Track and cross country. So where we mentioned Valley having all kinds of success, Northwest has been very, very good at track and cross country over the last few years. And if you walk down the hall where they have people's jerseys retired, most of the recent jerseys are
track jerseys.
Yeah, track and cross country jerseys. I know there's a couple of athletes out there that
they just added 3 more to the list too.
Yeah, very impressive program for them in the spring and in the fall.
So Northwest will start off the second half with the ball. Wolfenbarker will pass it over to Bolin, who cuts loose a 3 off the back iron and no good. Buckle the rebound for Valley. He'll bring it across half court for the Indians. Pass ahead to Arnett. Drives around the free throw line. Poked away, able to regain control. Pass to Buckle. Once again around the volleyball line. He backs it out to half court. Entry pass to Arnett. Arnett drives inside. Runner is no good. Rebound by Stewart. Putback rolls around. And eventually going to be out of bounds on Arnett, so it'll go with the Mohawks. A lot of second chance opportunities so far this game for Valley.
Yeah, Northwest looks like they're just going for the rebound instead of finding a body, then going for it. As, Valley, very athletic, can find their way around it.
Wide open. Lewis, a three, not able to knock it down, but on the putback, Bolin able to lay it off the glass and in for two.
Yeah, that's one of the ways they can come back in the game is if they hit the offensive glass. Because Valley wants to get out and run, so make it a little harder for them to run. Good job by Wolfenbarker cutting off the backdoor cut by Arnett.
A little over a minute into the second half. Valley still looking for their first points as Buckle drives inside, blocked away by Caleb Lewis, but we will have a shooting foul that'll send Buckle to the line with 2 free throws coming up. Foul is on Caleb Lewis. That'll be his third, team's first of the half.
Yeah, that's big because Lewis has been their most prominent scorer so far, and Valley's having to put a lot of attention on him, so that's going to open up other guys. Give Buckle 10 on the night now as he makes his first free throw of the evening. If you're Valley, you just want to keep adding on to the lead. It doesn't have to be huge runs, just a little bit at a time.
Lead now up to 13 for the Indians with 6:48 to play here.
I believe 13 is as big as it got in the first half also.
Into the corner to Lewis. Now to Wolfenbarker around the right wing. Now pass to Byer.
I'm just watching the action inside. That's just, you got to communicate so well to guard an offense like this.
On the baseline, Wolfenbarker cut off by Arnett. Backdoor cut from Bolin, able to come up with the loose ball. Wide open, Lewis a three ball, not able to get it to go. Stewart the rebound. Not wasting any time the other way. Up for the layup, counted in the foul. Colt Buckle, chance for a three-point play.
Great finish by Buckle. Great look ahead by Jace Copley. And that's Lewis's fourth. And that's one of those that's just kind of an unlucky one. As it's just kind of going back and great job by Buckle of going through the contact and finishing. That's a foul. It's just an unlucky foul.
And the free throw is good, so give Colt Buckle all 5 of Valley's points here in the second half. Has him out to a 41-25 lead with a little over 6 minutes to go in the third.
Yeah, it was down to 11 just a little over a minute ago.
Wolfenbarker hands it off to Bolin, drives down the middle of the lane, going to work on Arnett. Pass out to Byer. He'll dish it off to Corey Butler. Now back to Wolfenbarker. Bolin drives inside, loses it on the way up, but it'll stay here with the Mohawks.
Yeah, that's where Arnett just gets a hand on it. Nice job, I think, trying to knock it to his teammate, but just got a little bit too much.
Inbound pass to Wolfenbarker. Fadeaway jumper on the way. Yes, tough shot.
Yeah, that's the first points for the freshman. He's looked good on the game. Being only a freshman is dealing with the physicality pretty well for the Mohawks.
Copley falls down. That looks like who Nickel may have been looking for. Nickel drives inside, falls down. We will not have a whistle, and it'll be out of bounds on Nickel. It'll turn it over to Northwest.
Yeah, it looked like he had a nice move initially. Some contact, but not enough for a foul as it was deemed incidental.
There wasn't much slide when he fell either. He kind of hit the ground and just immediately stopped. Northwest looking to cut down this 14-point lead from Valley. Bolin, short range jumper on the way, count it.
Really nice pump fake there by Tanner Bolin.
Lead now to 12 for the Indians.
Really good defense by Jay Jenkins on that play.
Screen from Stewart. Buckle inside, wide open, off the glass and in. Looks like Bolin may have been trying to take a charge underneath, wasn't able to do so.
They got there pretty late. Probably fortunate that he wasn't called for an undercut there. Buckle now with 16.
Wolfenbarker looking for Jenkins. Will have a kick ball on Arnett. So Bolin will inbound on the far sideline here. Get it into Jenkins on the other side of the court. He'll bring it across half court for Northwest. Picks up his dribble, pass to Byer.
Northwest is is all out of sorts right now.
Jenkins thought about the three ball, drives inside, pass out to Wolfenbarker on the right wing. No shot there. Pass now to Butler. Now back to Jenkins.
Now, if you're Northwest to come back, yes, you want to still be patient in your offense, but you got to make sure you're efficient with whatever shots you get when you do finally get a good look here.
Butler drives inside with the right hand, fouled. And he'll have 2 free throws coming up with 3:24 to go in the third.
And now that's the best case scenario. Now, you want to hit a three, but now you get a chance to score with no time coming off the clock.
Well, you say no time coming off the clock, but really it was about a minute 30, it seemed like anyway, coming off the clock. Just like you said, obviously you don't want to force anything because it's still the third quarter, and it just got under the halfway mark, but you're down 12 down 14 first free throw from Butler, no good, but you don't want to get down. You bring it all the way back to maybe down 7 or 8, but there's only 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, so. So Butler will look to knock down the back half of his trip to the line. Not able to do so, and Stewart, the rebound for Valley, pushes it ahead to Arnett. Mid-range jumper from Arnett off the rim, no good. Rebound goes to Butler.
Yeah, just a really tough shot for Arnett.
Looking for Bolin in the corner. It's taken away from Copley. Pass to Arnett, and it's blocked away by the Mohawks in transition now, looking to cut down this 14-point lead. Pass to Bolin. Baseline drive, wide open underneath, off the glass and in for 2.
Bolin has 6 in the quarter. They're staying within range. I mean, that's all you can do if you're Northwest right now is stay where you still can see yourself making a comeback.
It'll be a full timeout for Coach Tackett and the Valley Indians. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball right here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
See everything Southern Ohio Sports Authority presented by OhioHealth has to offer by visiting our website at SOSAOhio.com for complete coverage of area athletes and teams, including game stories, features, live streams of games, player and coach interviews, nightly scores, area standings, and much more. You can even view and purchase action photos from our more than 100 galleries. That's SOSAOhio.com for the best local sports coverage around.
Are you in a bind and need an oil change right now? No problem. Did you forget to make an appointment? No problem. Just stop by any Glockner location and we'll squeeze you in and get you on the road quickly. Really, it's
43-31 lead for Valley with 2:53 left in the third. Coming out of the timeout, Valley going to look to shut down this. It hasn't. I don't think you can exactly call it a comeback yet, but hopefully for Northwest, it's a comeback in the making.
Yeah, for Valley, you just want to try to keep this game over 10. It's been between 11 and 16 this whole half so far.
Good defense from Jenkins on Copley. Let's go with 3-ball. Yes.
A good defense, better offense there from Copley. Can't beat him off the dribble, so he just backs it up a little bit, gets himself into a shooting motion, and buries it.
Copley, just one of those guys that doesn't need a lot of space and is really comfortable with taking contested shots, able to knock it down right there.
Yeah, he's got 15. And he hasn't taken a lot of shots. That's his 7th shot.
Wolfenbarker down the middle of the lane, fakes it, fadeaway jumper on the way is no good. Copley, the rebound for Valley, pushes it ahead to Carter Nickel. Lob up to Levi Stewart. For a second, I thought he might throw it down, John, but instead just lays it in for 2.
Yeah, great pass from Carter Nickel as he's going full on towards the baseline, throws it up towards the rim, and Stewart goes up and gets it. He's got 10.
Wolfenbarker on the right side picks up his dribble, pass now to Jenkins, who backs it out.
Yeah, and by the way, it went from 12 to 17 just like that.
Into the corner, Byer not even thinking about the three ball as Stewart is a good 7 or 8 feet off of him.
Yeah, that's a nice cut.
Nice pass, blocked away by Levi Stewart. He's called for the foul. That was Jay Jenkins up for the layup. So he'll have 2 free throws coming up with 1:20 left in the third.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I don't know about the call.
I think that's one of those fouls where, unfortunately, you're just so much bigger than everybody else that even the slightest bit of contact.
But what I was going to say is the official called it in the body, and that's hard to argue.
Right.
He called it up top where it was clean, but, it's Stewart, I think, did a pretty good job of staying level,
I feel like that's about as good as he could have guarded it, yeah.
But you know what? He missed the first free throw, so you give up the foul for the point there. So,
especially when you're up 17, now 16 for the Indians. Logan Shepard will check into the game for Alex Byer.
Yeah, like I said, right after the half, Valley just wants to keep building this lead little by little. And they've done a good job of that so far in this half.
In the mid-range, Nickel drives inside, up with the right hand, yes.
Nice drive and layup for Carter Nickel. Has shown he's kind of hesitant to shoot the jump shot, but he's not hesitant to drive.
Wolfenbarker, a 3-ball front iron, no good. Buckle the rebound for Valley. The other way, Stewart wide open underneath. Counted in the foul, chance for a 3-point play.
The big guy running the break beautifully there and finishes, got a chance for the 3-point play. The Indians are now 6 for 9 in the quarter from the field.
Foul was on Wolfenbarker. That was his second. Lead now up to 21. Jenkins down the middle of the lane, loses the handle, taken away by Nickel in transition. Pass up to Arnett, and able to convert on the fast break for 2.
Yeah, if you're Carter Nickel, that's about the easiest steal that you're ever going to get.
12 to shoot here for the Mohawks, and it's taken away from Buckle. Up for the layup. Yes, 6 to shoot for the Mohawks if they want to get a chance, but we'll have a timeout with 3.5 to go in the third from Northwest.
Yeah, that's what Valley could do. They just flipped a switch, went from a 12-point game up to a 25-point game, seemingly just like that. They've been super efficient in the quarter, no turnovers. One of the 3 misses they got the offensive rebound on. It's just, it's been a very efficient display by the Valley Indians tonight. And they're doing it on the defensive end as well. The Mohawks are without Lentz, but overall they're not getting any good looks because once they do drive, then you got Levi Stewart back there that's going to alter shots, if not block them.
So 3.5 to play here in the third quarter. So you're going to have to go from the opposite baseline here, Bolin inbounding. Running out of time, gets it into Wolfenbarker. Not a lot of time to shoot. He's going to have to let it go, and the Mohawks will just let it go to 0 to end the third quarter, 57-32. Valley out in front. We'll take a quick break as we head into the third quarter. Head into the fourth quarter. You're watching Ohio High School boys basketball right here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
At OhioHealth, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing OhioHealth provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
Here at Glockner's, we know how valuable your time is, and that's why our priority is to provide you a quick and easy service. We will get you in and out and on your way immediately. So schedule your next service appointment at Glockner.com.
57-32, Valley leading after 3 as we head into the final quarter of play. John, the Indians just flipped an absolute switch on Northwest, able to get that lead up to 25.
Yeah, once they get steals, they're just so fast in transition. When shots are missed, they're incredibly fast in transition. So you have to be super efficient offensively. You have to make shots, and then you got to stop the ball. Because if you don't stop the ball, they're just going end to end like crazy.
So Valley, go ahead.
It's just, as I said, then it's just easy for them.
So Valley will start off the fourth quarter with the ball, although they quickly lose it as it's on the ground. Shepard comes up with it, although it's on the ground again, and eventually we're going to have a jump ball. I believe it was Copley and Wolfenbarker who both had paws on it. I think possession was with Northwest, so they'll take over.
Yeah, only the second turnover of the second half for the Indians. And that's where the efficiency comes from. So you have to take care of the ball, and you have to hope that they're going to turn it over a little bit as well.
Jenkins brings it across half court, pass to Butler on the deep right wing. He'll bring it over to the middle of the floor, pass to Lewis. Thought about the 3 ball, now to Wolfenbarker. He cuts it loose, just rings in and out. Rebound goes to Stewart, and John, that's a double-double for Levi Stewart.
Yeah, 13 rebounds, 10 boards so far. Great catch.
Stewart fouled on the way up. That'll send him to the line. Shooting 2, you said 13 points and 10 rebounds for Stewart?
Yep, 13 and 10. Done a really good job on the glass on both sides. He's got 4 offensive and 6 defensive rebounds. That was a great pass from Carter Nickel from the top of the key.
First one from Stewart is off the backboard and no good, so the lead will stay at 15 as Byer checks back into the game for Corey Butler. Second free throw is good.
14 for Stewart. Like I mentioned, didn't get a lot of PT last year, and this dude can really play. And I mean, being 6'8" can really can be a difference maker for the Indians. So where they graduated, another Stewart last year, they've replaced him with a little bigger, maybe not as athletic, but just another outstanding player.
Copley on the other end. Tough runner on the way, no good. Buckle the rebound and off the glass and in for 2.
Buckle at 20.
I feel like it's kind of been a quiet 20, John.
And that's 8 rebounds also. Yeah, really besides the half quarter.
I forgot about the half quarter. It feels like that was so long ago. It was to end the first quarter. Off the steal, Buckle from beyond half court. Shot was able to knock it down. Valley having some trouble getting it out, eventually able to get it to Copley. He'll bring it across half court for the Indians. Let's go with 3. Yes!
Copley with 18 can flat out stroke it. The lead is up to 31. This is, I believe, a 19-0 run.
What was a 12-point margin in the last time these two teams met? We've definitely gone up and over that this time around. Like you said, lead now to 31 for the Indians. John, they're not playing around.
No, this has been a very impressive display. Really, after that timeout on both ends of the court.
Pass to Stewart is not able to connect. It'll be a turnover for Valley and hand things over to Northwest with 5:33 to go in the fourth.
Yeah, now Buckle needs one more board to join the double-double gang.
The double gang.
Yes.
Entry pass to Lewis, guarded by Nickel.
That's where if you're on the bench, you're like, hey, we're up 31, just go get the board.
Everybody boxes everybody out, and Nickel just comes in and grabs the 10th.
Yeah.
Jenkins, a deep three, yes!
Yeah, that's third three for Jenkins on the night. He's got 12 points to now lead the Mohawks.
It's one of the deepest and highest arcing shots I believe I've seen this season, John. Nothing but net for Jenkins. Wide open underneath, kind of a showtime layup from from Nickel, but Stewart able to put it back up and in on the putback.
Yeah, a little lackadaisical, but Stewart was not lackadaisical on the putback.
Kind of look like one of the old Kareem moving skyhooks.
Which he was practicing in the pregame. They were practicing skyhooks in the pregame, which made me smile.
Lewis, a three ball from the right wing, no good, and Buckle the rebound. That's another double-double for the Indians. Arnett, a deep three off the rim, almost a four-pointer. Copley the rebound. It's intercepted by Wolfenbarker. 2-on-1 fast break, and we're going to have a foul on Arnett.
It was an interesting play.
Lead now to 30 for the Indians. Wolfenbarker top of the key, pass to Jenkins, asking for a screen from Byer now into the corner. A nice crossover from Jenkins, just wasn't able to get the shot off. Tough defense from Colt Buckle. Yeah. Nice Wolfenbarker gets Arnett up in the air, moving runner, and rattles it around and in for two. Lead to 28.
I've liked what I've seen out of Wolfenbarker so far.
Only a freshman, John.
Yep. I think we're going to have a hold on Jenkins.
Foul's on number 10, Jenkins.
That is Jenkins' third, the team's fifth of the half. As Zane Fry checks in for the first time tonight for Alex Byer. And Hunter Edwards for Valley checks in as well.
This dude's an athlete. Like, I've seen him play early in the season, but just in other sports, he can really play. To be able to bring a guy like that in late in the game just shows the depth of athletes that the Indians have.
Nickel, a mid-range jumper, able to put it through for two. Lead back to 30.
Yeah, just really impressive display for the Indians tonight.
Into the corner, Bolin now pass to Jenkins on the left wing, top of the key for Lewis. Now back to Jenkins. Double team from Buckle and Copley. Jenkins able to stay in control. Looking for Bolin in the paint, but it's stolen away from Copley, now going the other way. A deep three from Copley off the rim and no good. Rebound goes to Caleb Lewis of Northwest. He'll push it ahead to Bolin.
A lot of contact. Valley looks like they're going to clear most of the bench.
Have four subs at the table. Mid-range jumper on the way from Jenkins is no good, but it should stay here out of bounds on Buckle as Parker Lute, J.R. Holbrook, Chris Queen, and Chase Davis all check in for the Indians. Only one staying in out of the five that were out there was Hunter Edwards. And I believe Logan Shepard will check back into the game for Northwest as well.
Yeah, Chase Davis was really good in the JV game before this.
Would you like to share the score of that game,
Nope.
John? Figured not.
That's one of those you don't share. You just kind of Valley gets the W. That's what you share out of the game.
Valley gets the W, and this game started a bit before 7:30, I guess is the way you could
that's true.
word that one.
And with a Hall of Fame ceremony.
Right, yeah.
That it still started pretty much on time.
Underneath, Lude pass to Chase Davis. He backs it out. Edwards around the top of the key, drives to the left side, picks up his dribble. He'll hand it off to Holbrook now, top of the key to Davis. Good ball movement here from the Indians. Edwards inside with the left hand. Tough shot, gets it to go.
Yeah, like I was saying, good athlete. Left hand, gets to the rim and finishes.
Got a couple subs here for the Mohawks. Number 14, Nick Hayslip. And I believe number 11, Jake Brown, checked in as well. So a 32-point lead here for the Indians with right at a minute left in the fourth quarter. Brown, top of the key pass to Hayslip. Now Brown, a three ball off the backboard and in. The bank's open, John. Northwest up to 40.
Yeah, Caleb Lewis with his fourth three. First one since the first quarter. Now he has a game high 14 for the Mohawks as he passes Jay Jenkins right there.
This one nearly poked away by Caleb Lewis. Inside, Luda fadeaway jumper knocks it down for two. A lot of tough shots from Valley, John.
Yeah, Valley does not always make things easy on themselves. That was a really nice finish by Parker Luke.
So waning seconds here. This one poked away by Chris Queen. Going the other way, lays it up and in for two. Lead now to 33. This one good if it goes from around the volleyball line from, I believe it was Caleb Lewis who cut that one loose. Not able to connect the final 73-40. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have all the stats and everything else that went on here tonight from Northwest High School. You've been watching Ohio High School boys basketball right here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by OhioHealth.
Michelle and her dad. Decades of dares. 1 month of learning to jump. First day doing it solo. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at OhioHealth.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
73-40 the final here from Northwest High School. Valley able to come away with the win and get their 10th win of the season, move to 10-2 overall, 7-2 in the SOC, I believe only behind Menford in the league standings. As for Northwest, they fall to 8-3, 4-3 in the SOC too. I believe they're somewhere kind of in the middle of the pack, maybe like 4, 5, 6, somewhere in there among the standings.
The SOC 2's loaded.
It's been pretty good that, you have Wheelersburg, Northwest, Valley, Menford, Eastern's been showing out.
South Webster.
Yep, South Webster as well. We should have seen them here.
Yeah.
I believe that was maybe December 23rd, maybe, or the 22nd, whatever the day after the Gallia and Courthouse game was. But we were supposed to come here, but the weather wasn't very favorable, so we had to call that one off.
Our boss man told us we were not coming, and then the game was canceled anyway. So, we'll, maybe we can get back another time. But really, to start the game for Northwest was something really positive they can build off of. But man, Valley just after that just took complete control, dominating after the timeout Coach Tackett took. That when it was a 15-7 game, took a timeout, and then after that it was all Indians. obviously you get the half quarter by Colt Buckle to end the first quarter.
Wow.
Right after Jace Copley hit a tough three. And, that takes away a lot of momentum, but then it was still 19-18, and then they just
And they had it to 11 at one point, I think it was 12
in the third.
In the third, and after that, it just kind of got away from the Mohawks.
Yeah. Then just looking at the stats on the night, without having the shooting stats available yet, Colt Buckle led Valley with 20 points and 10 rebounds. I also had him for 3 steals, a couple of assists, just an outstanding night for the senior. Next up for them was Jace Copley, the junior wing that can really stroke it. Hit 4 threes on the night, finished with 18 points on only 10 shot attempts. That's just being very efficient. Levi Stewart, 16 points and 11 rebounds.
A lot of second chance points
a lot
for
of second
Stewart.
chance points. Had a nice play on an alley-oop from
Man,
Carter
I tell
Nickel.
you what, I really thought he was going to throw that down with 2 hands, but I'm assuming he can dunk, but I'm guessing the angle wasn't right there. And to be honest, at the angle, I believe it was Nickel who threw the pass. He probably wasn't expecting. He was almost behind the backboard as he let it go. So I'd say and if he was expecting a pass, I'd say he probably wasn't expecting it upstairs either.
Yeah. Now, when I watched them the first time I saw Valley last year was down at Ironton, and between games they had a bunch of time. And Stewart was just throwing down dunks, and then he didn't get in until halfway through the second quarter. I was like, oh my goodness, how deep is this team? And I think he's shown just what he can do this season. He fits in perfectly with this team and does a really good job for them. Continuing on for the Indians, Carter Nickel had 6. George Arnett only had 5, but like we mentioned at halftime, did a lot of positive things for the Indians. Next, Parker Lute with 4. He played a big role in that first half. Hunter Edwards with 2. Chris Queen with 2. Now for the Mohawks, they were led by Caleb Lewis with 14. He had 11 of those in the first quarter, helping them out to that 15-7 lead. Got in some foul trouble in the third quarter. Comes in, hits a 3 to their last points of the game. Next was Jay Jenkins. Did a good job on Copley.
There's only so much you can do when somebody can make some of the shots he was knocking down.
Yeah, so Jenkins ended up with 12. I think did a good job overall for the Mohawks. Maybe he won't think that with the score line and everything, but just a good overall job. Tanner Bolin had 6 all in the third quarter. Then Alex Bear and Logan Wolfenbarker finished the scoring for the Mohawks with 4 each.
Yeah, 73 to 40, the final coming up next tomorrow night on Southern Ohio Sports Authority. Mike Smith and Tom Beard will have the call over at Uniota High School as they take on the Pioneers. And pretty big, we talked about on the car ride home, really doesn't matter how good either team is. It's always going to be a big matchup, really in any sport, when those two teams come together. So if you're still itching for some high school basketball, tune in to that tomorrow night. But as for this game here tonight, I believe that's all myself, John, and our cameraman Carson Francis have for you here tonight from Northwest High School. Once again, the final, Valley 73, Northwest 40. Have a great rest of your night.